Defense, Week 9, presented by UrbanandM.com. We've got rankings all week, every week, for all positions, but this is defense. And if you want to stick around to the end, I can show you how to stream those defenses, right? If you want, it'll only take a couple of minutes. It's super easy, and it'll explain a lot of this numbers, a lot of this data, a lot of this coding. I'm sure you understand colors, but if you want to understand these numbers, stick around to the end. Pretty much, this is all that you really need to know for the rankings. But here is the details. At 1, well, first of all, the Browns, Jets, Eagles, Bucks, they're out, okay? So you're looking at the Rams, number 1 defense, taking on the 29th Saints. Probably starting Tyler Shuff. I mean, good Lord. 29-15 is the implied team total. They're supposed to win by 14 points. They're easily the number 1 defense for Week 9. Green Bay Packers taking on Carolina's 27th worst. They're supposed to win by 13, 29-16. The Chargers, they're taking on the Titans. They're supposed to win by 10, 27-17. Titans get absolutely decimated. So the Chargers, really good, really good. Lions, 29-19. They don't care about the Minnesota's 18th best. They're going to absolutely dominate them like they're the 32nd worst. Broncos taking on Houston. They're kind of in a tough one. 2019, low-scoring game, super close. Could be anyone's game. I don't love it, but the totals are so low, that's fine. You can let them have a defensive war. Who cares, as long as they don't go scoring points on offense. Go some defensive points. That'd be great. Pats are at 6, taking on Atlanta's 28th worst. They're supposed to win by 6, 25-20. You love this. We can't all have 15 points against, or 16, 17 points against, 19, 20 points against, even in a losing battle, even against Denver's 10th best. This is great. You want these small numbers against you, right? It's not until we start getting down further that we start to get worried, but we'll get into that. At 8, you've got the Ravens. They're winning by 8, 29-21. Against Miami's 21st, there's nothing not to like. They're going to dominate them. Jacksonville, same thing. They're going to dominate the Raiders. 24-21. I don't care that it's only 3 points. This is one of the worst offenses in the league. You should be just fine. Seattle is the first part where it starts to get a little sussy here. Seattle, Colts, and the Niners. I don't love that it's a 49 total. I do like that the Giants are 23rd. We know that they're, suffering some woes right now. So this is probably under control, even though it looks like it's starting to get out of control. But that's what this is. The 12th best, the 11th best, 22, 23 points. This is where we start to, our ears perk up. We realize that this is the turning point. And from here, it's just an absolute no-go. You don't want anything to do with any of these other matches. I don't care what anybody says. 24, 25 points, 26 points against, and brother, look at how many bad games there are. 21, 22, 23, 24. 27 points against for the Steelers, for the Bengals, for the Bills, for the Titans. There are 5 games. The Cardinals, Dolphins, Vikings, Panthers, Saints getting 29 scored on them. That is wild. That is wild. So you don't want anything to do with the bottom 13, honestly. If you can stay away from 12, 11, and 10, that would be even better. If you can pick from the top 9, you have literally nothing to worry about. Slot it, move on. Now, there's the summary. 1 through 10, they're all good to go. Nothing to worry. Scroll back up. You can pause. You can see how many flags each one has, what the reason would be that we're suspicious of this. In most cases, it's just that they're losing. So, and then these guys, brother, it's an absolute no. Don't start them. Do not start these guys. People would draft the Bills and just play the Bills all season. Not the move. Not the move. You should never do that. And if you want to know how to determine all of this stuff, well, it's super, super easy. What are these numbers? What do they mean? This is the offense points. How many points did the offense score ranking, basically, right? These implied team totals. So there's a spread number and there's a match total. I like to use covers.com. Super simple. Shows you a graphic like this. Shows you the team. Shows you the total. Shows you the spread. And it's super easy. You just write down the team that you're trying to figure out the total for. What the spread is for them, right? So this number right here, and the total, the game total right here. So this is how many points are going to be scored by both teams. So you take that number and you split it in half, right? Half of the points for one team, half of the points for the other team. And you can already see where this is going. The spread will then be awarded to or from those two halves, from that split of those total points. Does that make sense? So, for instance, we'll write down 7.5. We'll write down the total, 41.5, and you just divide both of those things by 2. Half of 7.5 is 3.75. Half of 41.5 is 20.75. And then this 20.75, that's half of the points for the game, right? So the Giants get 20.75. The Eagles get 20.75. So then now you've got these halves down here. Now you can award the spread correctly, right? So who's winning? Philly's winning. So they get those points, their half of the spread, added to their total, right? They're adding points. They're winning. They're scoring more points. More is add. So 20.75 plus the spread, 24.5 is what their total should be. That's the implied total. The Giants, you're going to take away that number. They're not scoring as many points, right? So you take that away, you get 17. And then we can check our math. We can make sure that the spread between the totals is the right amount. So from 17 to 24, how much is that? 7. So the spread matches. The spread is the gap between the two numbers. And then if we add up the two numbers, we should get, you guessed it, the total. 24 and 17 equals 41. So that's the math. And then you can write down your little things. You can get the total for every single one of the games. You can color code them if you want and look up these offenses to help you determine what is suspicious and what is not. But basically, it's that simple. It's that easy. Everybody can do it. But if you don't want to, you can just keep watching my videos, which would be great. Also, you can shop at my store, urbanandm.com, where you can buy this hat. You can buy this shirt. You can buy jewelry. You can buy lots of handcrafted stuff made by 2 artisans, literally me and my partner, in North Carolina. And watch some more videos.